If you've been thinking about getting serious with your money, like actually serious, now's the time. The Motley Fool is offering new members 50% off their iconic stock recommendation service, Stock Advisor. This is the same service that's crushed the market with recommendations that have returned 1,057% since inception, compared to the S&P 500's 180% over that same period. This isn't guesswork. The Motley Fool has a track record of finding companies before they become household names. So if you want to invest smarter and you like saving money while doing it, go to fool.com/listen to claim your 50% off discount off a 1-year term of Stock Advisor. Again, that's fool.com/listen. Returns of 1,057% are from the Motley Fool's product Stock Advisor and measured against S&P 500 returns of 180% as of July 10th, 2025. Past performance is not an indicator of future results. All investing involves a risk of loss. Individual investment results may vary.
Looking for a smarter choice for dental implants? Meet the Contact Dental Implant System from Biotech Dental, trusted by clinicians across Europe and now available in the US. With a single prosthetic connection, streamlined surgical kits, and seamless digital workflows, Contact makes every step easier. It's clinically proven, intuitively designed, and surprisingly affordable. See for yourself why more dentists are switching to Biotech Dental's Contact System. Visit biotechdental.com today to learn more. That's biotechdental.com.
Beasts of the world, we shall unite. Rise up and ready for the fight. Soon or late the day will be when man's defeated and we are free. Soon or late the day will be when man's defeated and we are free. Though our lives be nights full of misery, our limbs be tired and worn, our dreams will not be broken, and our hearts will not be torn. Our dreams will not be broken, and our hearts will not be torn.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Kulturecast. I'm Editor-in-Chief of Culture Shock, Chris Stachiw.
And I'm John Lein, and 4 legs are good and 2 legs are bad.
No, 4 legs are good, 2 legs are better.
And I'm what? I'm Yashar Hirasta, and I have 2 legs.
From your hips to the ground, and when you move them, they walk around.
If you put your hand up on my hip.
Oh my god! If you guys got that reference, kudos to you. If not, don't worry about it. So we're going to be talking about continuing our page to screen month. Animal Farm is a made-for-TV film released in 1999 by Hallmark Films. It is an adaptation of the 1945 George Orwell novel of the same name, and it is a thinly veiled allegory about the terror of communism, featuring animals in the place of Bolsheviks and humans, and farm owners taking the place of the czars. It features a fair amount of well-known actors doing voice parts. Patrick Stewart, Ian Holm, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Kelsey Grammer, Pete Postlethwaite does a voice in the film, and he also acts. He has a acting part. Yashar, had you seen this film before, and what are your thoughts?
I've seen it too many times before.
This sounds like the beginning of I've seen it too many times before. Yashar, where did the movie touch you?
It's just one of those things where maybe if I hadn't seen it like 2 or 3 times in the past, I would have been more into it. But I was like, okay, I know what's happening. Will you end now, film, please?
What? Why had you seen it 2 or 3 times before?
Because the American education system likes us to read the book and watch the movie multiple times.
Wait, have you read the book?
Yeah, of course I've read the book.
I've read the book. Have you not, Chris?
No. I was in honors English in high school and AP English, and we never read Animal Farm. But we never read the whole book. I remember in in middle school, we read, Jesus Christ, Great Expectations.
Ugh, what an awful book.
Right? But, we never, I think I would have enjoyed reading this book, maybe.
I liked the book when I read it.
I liked the book. I dug it.
What about you, John? Had you seen the film before?
I don't know. I may have seen bits of it after we read the book, but it was so long ago, and I know I hadn't watched the whole thing. All things considered, I think I kind of liked this movie. It wasn't amazing. It's a 1990s made-for-TV movie about puppet pigs taking
Was that
over a
mouse-
farm. Huh?
Was that mouse CG? That bothered me.
Yes,
so much.
very horrible CG.
I was
rat
actually
was?
kind of. I
Yeah.
kind of was impressed by the CG. I was like, oh, that's not that terrible, considering the rest of the...
I was a little impressed by the blending of CG, real animals, and puppets. I feel like that was probably a real bitch to pull off in any decency, let alone, really well. I also want to say it's pretty interesting to me that a made-for-TV movie would get so many big names.
Well, I mean, again,
I thought that too.
you and I were talking about this before the podcast, John. This movie had a budget of $23 million.
Yeah, but still, why? I mean, it's a made-for-TV movie by Hallmark, and they got Kelsey Grammer, Ian Holm, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Julia Ormond, Pete Postlethwaite, Patrick fucking Stewart. I mean...
But to be fair, they don't have to do a whole lot. They're going into a studio doing their lines and that's it.
Yeah, but
it's not like they're mocapping their faces and like they did with Smaug and putting the mocap faces on the pig puppets.
I'm not saying it's a lot of work or that they couldn't afford it. What I'm saying is, I don't know, it must be the sheer sort of prevalence of the book Animal Farm specifically. Because otherwise, why would Patrick Stewart be like, yeah, I'll do a made-for-TV film and voice
Money.
Napoleon, the communist pig?
Money.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
has
but what I mean is
taste.
Patrick Stewart has money.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Patrick Stewart likes letting his voice join everything. See American Dad and Ted and Family Guy.
Right, I'm just saying I think the fact that it's based off of the book Animal Farm probably got more interest from these larger names than simply money or...
Yeah, it's
a hard job.
It's a semi-prestige project.
Yeah.
Like, as far as, like, TV movies go.
Yeah. I'm astounded that this film had a $23 million budget, and another film we just talked about, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, which came out a year later, $26 million budget, and it's a much better a much better constructed film technically than this film. And it's also got the Coen brothers, George Clooney, yada yada yada. But this it's not that I don't like this film. I'm with Yashar. I've seen this before. I had seen it when I was, I don't know, probably 10, 11. From what I remember from the book, the little bits that I've read, is the book as heavy-handed with the communist allegory as as this is?
I feel like it's a little more subtle, but A, you don't have visuals, and then B, you don't have Russian music playing every 5 minutes.
Right.
Right. The book doesn't have a soundtrack. It also doesn't have... It's not... As far as I recall, I don't think it's narrated by a dog that's in hiding. I think it's still from the perspective of a dog.
I really don't remember. I mean, I remember, like, the basic plot. That's it.
Right. It's been a long time since I read it as well. I don't think it has a, like, actual straight-up commentary in it, as opposed to just an outlining of the events in the book. And, like Yashar said, there's not a soundtrack to...
Right, I mean, it's practically just a bastardization of the Russian national anthem.
Right.
Which is, again, it's just not subtle in its communist allegory in this film. They even go as far as to having Old Major on display, which is just ripped right out of the fact that Lenin is on display in the Red Square. The whole film is about the animals uprising against the humans who live on the farm, and it is all started by this one character, Old Major.
Who's Karl Marx?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He's Marx.
No, that would be Lenin, right?
No, Lenin was Snowball.
No.
It's Lenin and Marx, because Lenin is on display in Red Square.
Well,
yeah, but Snowball's Lenin because he gets run off, and he's the one that...
That's Trotsky. Trotsky got run off to and then was killed.
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, it's Marx and Lenin together. I mean, it's not like this is Lenin. Lenin and Marx were kind of the fathers of communism. But Old Major dies because of, in the film, an accident.
Old Major is an obvious metaphor for Karl Marx.
Yeah, but there's also some Lenin to it. There has to be.
Because they put him on display.
Well, and I mean, Lenin was also
Yeah, it says Snowball is Trotsky.
Some of the
Stalin.
Yeah, some of the stuff I was reading, one of the quotes from Christopher Hitchens said that it's Lenin and Marx. But I mean, that notwithstanding,
Basically he's the founder of
right. Old Major is the founder, and then his message gets filtered through Patrick Stewart's Napoleon, who, like you guys said, is Stalin. And then the pigs start becoming more like humans. They start going into business with the humans. They start oppressing their own animals. It's very heavy-handed, especially with the music. I mean, the music totally just...
And they have, the propaganda videos.
And again, the
I think those propaganda videos are some of the best parts of the movie.
You like the chickens getting hung?
No, I like the animals. The grass tastes better now that Napoleon is in rule. That to me is one of the most successful parts of the movie, because you see this kind of cult of personality at work, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. You see them buying into his cult of personality.
But the propaganda videos and the events of the movie are described in the book pretty similarly. I really do think it's the fact that you see it instead of imagining it, and you hear the soundtrack instead of just nothing as you read the book. Right. I think that's probably why you think it's more heavy-handed than the book was.
Right, because we can't really judge the book to be heavy-handed.
Right, and it also doesn't help that we didn't read it recently.
Right, but I'm actually kind of curious to go back and read the book. After having watched this.
For the first time?
Yeah, I mean, not for the first time, but to actually sit down and read the book in its entirety, and not the passages that the teacher picks out because the teacher thinks that these are the important parts of the book. I mean, when we were learning about, when this came up in school, the parts that we were learning and reading from, it didn't give a very good idea of what this book was about. Because obviously, George Orwell, one of the seminal writers, English writers, he wrote a lot of really great books, and I feel like the book is probably really great. I think it also is probably kind of hard to translate the book to screen successfully, if that makes sense.
I'm interested. I would be interested to look at the 1954 cartoon they made of it.
I wouldn't be.
Just to see whether or not.
Sure, I'm done.
Just to see if the cartoon does a better job of depicting it, since it's all one format.
You should watch it and do a write-up on it.
Well, I'm not going to. I don't care that much.
Right. I do think, though, that the actors that they got to do the voices really buy into it and give some great performances, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart, I mean, Jesus, man. He just goes for it.
I like whiskey.
Right? He totally goes for it. And I think that his portrayal of Napoleon is pretty great. Kelsey Grammer as Snowball, pretty good as well.
Although the animals are super dumb, he's like, oh, he betrayed us, and no one's like, how did he betray us? They're just like, okay.
But that's the point.
That's a commentary, man.
Do you love movies? So do I. What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies. Inviting you to listen to The Conversation, a film podcast where passion meets perspective and opinion. From the old school to the new, I invite a guest on to discuss the movies that thrill us, challenge us, break our hearts, or even blow our minds. There's always new episodes dropping wherever you get your podcasts. So join the conversation. We don't just watch movies. We love talking about them too. The Conversation with KB Loves Movies, a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the 3 hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week, and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
It's intentional.
That's literally like the animals are dumb because they'll believe whatever they're told.
Yeah.
Like Snowball is the enemy. Okay.
That's why the animals that pick up on the chants the fastest are the sheep.
Right.
Get it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sheeple. Oh, you sheeple. You fucking dummies.
And they're like starving, and they're like, Napoleon will save us, as they're like dying of hunger.
Yeah. You know, there aren't a lot of movies that I can think of that I've seen where the puppetry of the animals isn't distracting. And this film, some of the shots are pretty distracting, like the old Major puppet is...
It's gross.
In our almost year now of doing this site, there have been few things as unsettling to look at as the old Major puppet. I mean, really.
Old Major skull.
Right? Old Major skull with, like, the messed up teeth.
And, like, yeah, that was gross.
Yeah. The puppet, it's like a pig that's so fat it could not exist in reality.
And it, like, can't move, so it lives on the top of the barn?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that was a stylistic choice as well, so that they could hide the fact that it was a puppet, right?
Well,
Yeah,
right, and
like,
because
it's like a podium.
because he was speaking to the rest of the animals.
Right.
I get why they did it. I'm just saying, looking at it from a realistic point of view, that pig would, like, fall through.
Oh, yeah. But the face is so fat and disgusting looking.
It's that nose.
Right? It's just, I don't know what breed of pig that's supposed to be, if that exists in real life. I guess it does. It's called a middle white. I mean, it's a real pig with that weird kind of smushed in face. But that puppet is so distracting. Thankfully, it's only in 5 minutes of the movie.
Before it gets shot and dies.
Yeah. But it's so gross. And
I mean,
movies that have talking animals, it's always kind of a mixed bag, right? Because you don't want it to look too cartoonish, where you can almost feel like, well, we should have just done this animated or CGI. But you have to keep you have to protect the realism. And whenever you see an animal, a normal animal, it's clearly a live animal, and then you see its mouth moving because it's animated, it's hard not to be distracted.
Yeah.
Especially the dog. The dog is like the biggest case in this film of just, whoa. The dog's jaw is like moving so fast, like the dog couldn't do that in real life, obviously.
Also, did you guys not care about the human story? Like they, I guess, sort of tried to make that main dude somewhat sympathetic.
Well, I mean, it's not really supposed to be sympathetic.
But they
just
spent a lot of.
to
But they did spend a lot of time with him, and he owes money, but this dude's even worse. And I was just like,
I feel like that's just a depiction of the Tsar's actions after the revolution, and to set up the fact that other human farmer goes in to deal with the pigs.
Okay.
I don't know if I think that part of the story was supposed to make you feel for the humans at all.
But his character is obviously supposed to be the Tsar, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, and again, this is in the book. I don't remember the specific passages that I've seen, but did the human characters have a big part in the book?
I mean, they trade stuff, but I don't really remember that many details.
As far as I recall, it's essentially the same role. They try to attack to take over the farm. It doesn't work. They try and listen in, but all they hear is animals, barking and shit, and then eventually they trade with the pigs. As far as I recall, I don't think they do a whole lot more than that in the book either.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like story-wise, they pretty much follow the book. They don't really deviate from what happens.
Right, and the human aspect of the film, it kind of gets rushed a little bit. They could have done something interesting with it, but all of a sudden the pigs can talk.
Yeah.
Right? So they judge themselves as...
Yeah, because they're so smart.
Right, because the pigs get all the apples and milk.
So what you're saying is
so that they get the protein to learn how to speak.
So what you're saying is if we feed pigs apples and milk, they will learn how to speak.
Feed pigs apples and milk and give them books.
All I'm saying is if you build it, they will come.
You're a turd. I mean, I think that this is an experiment worth doing now. Let's lock some pigs in a room with apples and milk and give them Animal Farm the book.
They do say pigs are pretty close to humans intellectually. They do a lot of experiments on them because we have similar biologies.
Well, I mean,
Like
they use pig parts in humans, right?
Like in Hannibal, when he used a pig as a surrogate.
Oh, good. Jesus. You had to bring that up. Oh, God. I like the allegory in this film. I do think it's a little heavy-handed. My ultimate problem with this film is for a film of this budget with the caliber of the actors, it's a little strange that it's made by the Hallmark company, who is primarily known for making feel-good family films.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little strange, right?
I felt good.
Right. Well, yeah, because the ending is changed.
Yeah.
I don't remember the end. What's the ending of the book?
The book ending is the pigs are like hanging out with the humans and are almost unrecognizable as separate entities.
Right, that's in the movie.
Right.
Well, the ending is essentially the part where you see the pigs building weapons. That's, from what I read, that's the end of the book.
Oh,
right.
So the movie goes like a step farther, like once it collapses.
Right. The book was written while the Soviet Union was still a thing. The movie was made after the Soviet Union fell, so they extended the ending to sort of cover that fact, that the Soviet Union fell and new people came into Russia to take over. But you mentioned that you think Hallmark tends to do family-friendly movies, and they do, but I personally saw the ending of Animal Farm and thought it was kind of a fucking downer. Because those people that roll in their car, there's literally a shot in the beginning of the film of that one family driving past in their shitty car, shooting rocks at sheep and stuff. And then at the end, the new family rolls in their nicer car, and it's the same amount of kids, the same sort of, it's just the exact same family in a more Americanized, Western, updated version of their clothing and car. And I got the impression that, oh, hey, you got new owners, but they're going to make the same mistakes because the people don't have any real power, despite the fact that the dog says you won't let her make the same mistakes.
Right.
America.
Well, I mean, it's sort of an anti-America thing, really.
Well, and I think that us being critical of the film, I think we read into that ending a little bit. I think on the surface it's supposed to be positive, right?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I think if you look at it from a critical standpoint and say this whole system is cyclical, it's going to happen again.
But looking at it from, if everything is an allegory for what actually happened in the Soviet Union and Russia.
Well, yeah, we know what happened. It happened again.
Right. It's negative.
Right. But I think that was their out in the film to make it a Hallmark movie, was to kind of give it a happy ending for children who are watching this with their parents and don't get it. And then the parents are like, oh, this is fucking depressing again. Do you know what I mean? I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a huge fan of animal-centric films.
Well, all movies are animal-centric.
Yeah.
Because humans are just animals, man.
Yeah. That's what Animal Farm says, bro.
Actually, we're worse than animals. You cannot walk on 2 feet. The pigs learn to walk on 2 feet too. So
yeah.
Things that are never explained how that happens.
Practice makes perfect, bro.
Right. I mean, a lot of the stuff in this movie just kind of happens because I feel like they don't have enough time to thoroughly tell the story they're trying to tell.
Well, right. And they have to get from point A to point B
in an hour and a half.
As liquored up as Napoleon was, it's kind of impressive he learned to walk while wasted all the time.
I do like how when they're drunk, they think they're dying.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's like, we're dying. Like, you're not dying, you idiot. He's like, oh, and then they're like, oh, you know what? All we want is whiskey. Like, because we're animals, we don't really need anything besides food. Like, we'll just take whiskey as payment for everything.
I would be curious, though, to see how, it's not really said how Napoleon's reign comes to an end, and obviously you could draw parallels to...
It's said in the movie, it's like there was a storm, it knocked over the water, messed everything up.
Well, that in and of itself is an allegory, bro.
Yeah, the wall came down.
Well, I just figured the animals pretty much either ran away or died off because he wasn't feeding them.
Yeah, but in the movie, it's almost saying that all this happened because of divine intervention, as opposed to in real life where it was a body of people within the society uprising. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, but like our main animals left the farm, so it's kind of like the same thing. Like,
You mean at the end of the movie?
At the end of the movie, it is...
they left and came back.
Yeah, but at the end of the movie, it's making the statement that Napoleon's reign came to an end because of divine intervention, right?
Well, no, I got the idea that it was the things happen all the time in the world, and if you don't take the time to prepare and maintain what the sort of society, then eventually it'll come crashing down on top of you anyway. Because Napoleon stopped having people fix the walls or farm wheat or anything like that because he just became a human and started getting shit-faced like their Farmer Jones did before him, and eventually it just came crashing down. I didn't get the idea that the storm literally destroyed Napoleon's reign.
I mean, the film doesn't do a very good job at the ending of not giving a clear cut is the word I would use. I'm sure the book, not having an ending kind of helped. Does that make sense? Not having that ending. You just you're left to your own devices with the ending. You're like, well, God knows what happens now.
Right.
Yes.
As opposed to being shown this kind of, for children, obviously, upbeat ending.
I don't know. I didn't think the ending was that confusing. It was just kind of
It's not a matter of being confusing.
Happens.
It's just, I think, for me personally, I would have preferred the book's ending in the movie.
Yes.
I kind of liked how...
I was indifferent.
I kind of liked... I mean, again, I might be reading too much into it, but
the reading into ending is pretty fucked up.
Right, and I personally feel like that was probably intentional. I doubt the people went into making a movie about farm animals taking over a farm as a correlation to the formation of the Soviet Union, and then went, you know what, this ending is going to mean nothing.
Right, so you think that they read into it with the ending being talking about post-USSR Soviet Union.
Right, I feel like that was probably intentional, but I do agree with you that I think they didn't take it far enough to actually illustrate that because they wanted it to feel happy.
Right.
Even if you reading into what it suggests means that it's not.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just right on the cusp of that. It's just right there. If they had gone a little bit farther, I think the ending would have been even better if they had just committed to kind of giving a hint at that, if that makes sense. That this is where this is going again. Because you're the main character of Molly, the dog. There's not a whole lot of. You don't get the sense that character is naive throughout the book.
I mean, she's like...
Or throughout the film.
Bad.
I mean, she kind of is.
But she also leads the animals away there at the end.
Well, right. Eventually she figures it out and gets the animals to go, but she still has hope, and hope is the human condition that allows the, Napoleon type thing to happen.
Right. No, I agree. What did you guys think of the pig squealer painting the rules on the side of that barn? That was probably one of my favorite things about the film.
The little commandments.
Yeah.
And altering them every time the pigs decided to do something different.
Yeah, they won't sleep in beds, but they won't sleep in beds with sheets, or they won't drink to excess.
Uh-huh.
All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
They won't kill animals without cause.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I like the idea of the movie more than I like the movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds good on paper. Well, it does sound good on paper.
Kind of like communism.
Yeah. So it's a double allegory.
Right.
Second layer.
That's fucking meta right there, I like the idea of an Animal Farm book more than the movie, just like they like the idea of communism more than execution.
Maybe
Yes.
that was the whole point of the movie.
Right, to make you realize communism. I don't think that this is the last we've heard of Animal Farm, but I think it's a story that can be retold over and over again, if that makes sense.
Well, the Soviet Union was such a big...
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they can essentially take the Soviet Union out of it and commute it to a different country or situation and still kind of have the same effect.
My question is, who is Melissa McCarthy playing in Paul Feig's late reboot?
Oh, God.
Melissa McCarthy plays Old Major.
That was too easy.
And she's not in costume. It's literally just her naked.
Just her sitting in the rafters of a barn.
Oh my gosh, she's never gonna do it.
Why, dude? She's fat, and because she's fat, therefore she's funny because she's fat.
Oh man,
Self-sufficing systems, bro.
Yeah, we're just playing the same form of humor that she does.
Yeah, I am funny because I am fat. I am fat because I am funny. The cycle goes round and round.
I'm abstaining from this conversation.
Right, and if you want to get Yashar's thoughts on whether or not Melissa McCarthy's funny, just check out his article, Funny or Not Melissa McCarthy, at Culture Shocked.
I wanted to call it The Curious Case of Whether or Not Melissa McCarthy is Actually Funny, but
wow,
higher
that's
powers.
a title, bro.
Higher powers. That's a great title.
That's awful. That's so long.
Do you know what else is awful?
That rolls off the
It's not
tongue.
even a
That rolls
joke.
off the tongue just like The Curious Case of Benjamin Button does.
Exactly. Chris gets it.
Is Melissa McCarthy in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button?
No, but it's
Then what is the point of that reference in a Melissa McCarthy article?
because it's a curious case, and no one knows the answer.
Because
That's
it's a
insane.
curious case as to whether or not she's funny, John.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
insane.
curious. Well, some would say I'm insane.
Let's put it this way. Melissa McCarthy's not funny. She should play Old Major.
Well, statistically speaking, she's barely funny, according to the article.
She's barely funny, according to your article.
she crosses the minimum threshold of funniness.
We're approaching minimum threshold.
Mostly because of her rookie year work. She had a really strong rookie year, and she's been kind of fizzling out since
Yeah,
then.
looking at those pictures of her in the new Ghostbusters movie, I can tell that her senior year is going to be great.
Do you have a senior year in sports, Chris?
Yeah.
Is that like when you're
It's
like
right before
75?
it's right before you're put out to pasture.
Like old boxer?
Yeah, like good old boxer, aka the Russian people.
No, he was the Boxer Rebellion, I thought, which is like in China or something.
What?
Yeah.
No,
His
that's
name-
not.
The Boxer Rebellion has nothing to do with
Okay,
Russia.
hold on. Let me look. Boxer.
Boxer in Animal Farm
Farm.
is are the Russian workers, the people.
Yeah, he's literally
yeah,
represents
you're right.
Russian workers who get sold out once they become not useful anymore.
Yeah. They put their belief in Stalin, and then Stalin's like, yeah, you're useless now. Take a hike.
He's the Boxers' Rebellion in China.
Well, 'cause isn't that-
How does that even
isn't
work?
the
And
Boxer
Napoleon
Rebellion,
represents Napoleon, who was ruler of Russia. You, Yashar.
Because the Boxer Rebellion wasn't. It wasn't that far. The timing is similar.
Yeah, but come on, dude. Just that was not even close. Oh man. But regardless, I would like to see a version of Animal Farm made that was like this one, less over your head with all the allegory, but with the same clout of actors.
You mean less obvious?
Yeah, I mean, this movie really kind of hits you over the head with a lot of the
Okay,
symbolism.
but you didn't say hit, so it sounded like what you meant was you didn't get it.
No, I got it. I mean,
Right.
it's not hard to get.
Right. I just wanted to clarify that that's what you meant.
But at the same time, it feels like in this movie they were hitting you over the head with it because they know that it was a lot of children were going to be watching it.
I mean, it got
I guess.
released on TNT, didn't it?
Again, I feel like it's supposed to be a movie for kids.
I didn't really feel like it was a kids movie. I mean, like
Talking animal films aren't normally for adults.
the dude bangs the other dude's
Yeah.
wife in like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, the talking animal films also usually aren't symbolisms for the rise and fall of the Soviet Union.
I mean, that's what that's what Ice Age is. But all in all, you know, for a film that was made for TV, $23 million budget, there were some major missteps that I feel like they took, and I don't know if maybe it was the story or I don't know. I mean, I feel like there were just some missteps that they took, like feeling it necessary to really lose the subtlety of the communist allegory. I mean, it's a made-for-TV movie, so take that into account. So, Yashar, skip it, watch it, and best performance.
Skip it. Best performance. Probably just Patrick Stewart's Napoleon, just because he's like so evil and he loves it. and he's very into it. Like, it's not...
He really goes for it.
Yeah. Like, man, this pig's really into his whiskey and oppression. So.
And or he doesn't wear the monocle, he wears the top hat, right?
Squealer wears the monocle.
Yeah. What about you, John?
It's tough. I think if you are... probably going to say this a lot, but I think that you should read the book instead of watching the movie. But if you're one of those people that doesn't read books like I have become in recent times and would rather just watch the movie to get the gist, then I guess watch it. It's still an interesting commentary on the rise and fall of the Soviet Union, but the book does it better. So, I think my best performance... Oh, man, that's rough. Without doubling up, I guess I'm going to go with Pete Postlethwaite as Farmer Jones. I liked his sort of completely rational reaction to to animals taking over his farm and kicking him out.
Yeah. He's one of 3 of note human actors in the film.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, I'm going to say skip it. It's just, I don't dislike it. I don't like it, again, which to me is just the sign of death for a movie if I don't really have an opinion on it. Best performance, probably Kelsey Grammer's Snowball.
Snowball doesn't really do a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't do a lot, but you guys already picked the good ones, so.
You can. There's no rule. You can pick the same one.
Yeah, but we normally don't like to double up. Just because, I feel like Kelsey Grammer does a good enough job in portraying the sympathetic pig character in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rational one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think the film has on Rotten Tomato, though?
I think I saw it on Wikipedia, so I should.
I'm going to say I think the critic response to it is 55%.
You sure? Do you want to give a guess, or did you see it?
I think it's like 40% or something like that.
Well, yeah, Yashar is right. It's 40% rotten. No critics' general consensus, but, it's not surprising. It's a made-for-TV movie, which means it didn't even have very many eyes on it to begin with.
Yeah. Yes. Does it have a user rating?
User rating of 37%, 4,800 user reviews. So, all right. And before we wrap this up, we actually got an interview with John Stephenson, who is the director of Animal Farm. So we'll play that, and when we get back, we'll close out the podcast.
So how did you get involved with the Animal Farm project?
Well, I guess obviously I was running the Henderson Creature Shop at the time, so I was doing a lot of various kind of visual effects job, and I'd got to a stage where I was beginning to direct quite a lot of stuff as well. I think I'd just done the sort of action unit on Lost in Space at that point, if I remember rightly, and so I'd also obviously been involved with Babe. I was the creative supervisor on the film Babe.
Mm-hmm.
And we were also at that point in time doing a lot of work with Robert Halmy at Hallmark. So it was sort of obvious thing, really. He was basically going through all the sort of classics that he could find and trying to turn them into television shows. And Animal Farm was the next one on the list. So it was a sort of fairly obvious thing that I should direct it.
Mm-hmm. Was it? Excuse me. Was it difficult to get the animatronics, the CGI, and the real animals to work together?
That's a really long. There's a long answer to that and a short answer. It is difficult. I mean, the whole business of making those. I mean, you have to remember that we're going back quite a few years now,
mm-hmm.
and what we did then we probably wouldn't do now if we were making the film again. But having said that, it wasn't. I mean, Babe was kind of like the first film which really used CGI to create talking mouths, realistic talking mouths on
mm-hmm.
animals by doing sort of head replacements and mouth replacements and things. So that technology was fairly new and very, very painstaking and really quite expensive
mm-hmm.
at that particular point in time. So the short answer is yes, it is difficult. It's always difficult. it was more difficult back then than it is now because we were kind of inventing the process at the same time. So yeah, no, it was quite difficult. I mean, the real animals, you have to spend, age, even when they're brilliantly trained, which not all of the animals on Animal Farm were. Even with that, you have to spend ages just getting that, one little moment. And the same applies to animatronics. The animatronic, you have to do many takes in order to get that one moment of magic that is going to work on the film. So it's all very painstaking and very long-winded. And luckily, most of Animal Farm is animals with animals rather than humans with animals. When you have to put humans and those sort of visual effects together, it's really, really hard on the actors. So, which is why everybody does it green screen these days. But anyway, it was quite tough. It was quite a hard film to make, actually.
And excuse me again.
That's okay. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Texas.
Oh, you really? Wow. Very cool. I've been to Texas.
Did you like it?
I did. I was at, I went to the Houston Film Festival, which was great. Really good. Yeah, I was very, 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 very well looked after. Very, very hospitable people.
Yeah, we try.
I think you're famous for it.
Yeah. So how did you prepare for filming a movie about such a well-known book?
Well, I mean, the thing is that Robert Halmy at Hallmark, I mean, we're going back a few years, so I'll have to try and remember. He had already had a script written when he got in touch with me to do it, which wasn't particularly good. It had really taken enormous liberties, really big liberties with the story, and it had become very sort of saccharine and a bit sort of Disney-like, really. So we basically got rid of that one script and tried to write another one. And obviously the big thing in that film is that we chose Jessie the sheepdog to be a mouthpiece, really. I mean, we had to have a narrator, really. Otherwise, I don't think it would have been that easy to tell the story. So unlike most films that put a narrator in as an afterthought, we actually decided from the beginning we needed a narrator. And so we took this character, Jessie, who was in the original book but only briefly with her puppies, and made her the narrator, which I think in retrospect was a good idea. I think it worked very well. So we made that change, kind of big change, and also obviously the end of the film has quite a big change in it because it has a sort of there's a twist at the end which gives you a feeling of optimism, which was unfortunate. I mean, which I didn't actually want to shoot, if I were to be honest. It was a requirement that came from the television network. They insisted that we just put a little tweak on the end so that nobody walked away too depressed. It's a fairly depressing film, really. Anyway, so those were the main things we changed, I suppose. And then obviously there's massive compromises all the way around because of lack of movement and various other things. But the biggest thing really was being able to shoot all of the animals together was a really difficult job, and we had to do it in many, many layers. So there's a huge amount of quite good compositing in there. Sorry, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so there was, for instance, when we put the animals in the barn, we did a thing with an anamorphic lens. So we had a very, very wide lens, and we put the cows in first and shot them. Then we put with the camera locked off. Then we put the chickens, the sheep, the pig, so on and so forth, until we had all of the animals covered in the barn. And then we put a little move in post across the width of the shot, and then we shot some foreground elements against green screen with that same little moving. So if you look at the shot, it looks like the camera's tracking from left to right, but actually it was a locked off lens. Did that make any sense?
Yeah.
Did you get that?
I got it.
Yeah. So it was complex, and then of course when we did things like the the battle scenes, where they're attacking the car and all that sort of stuff, there was huge amounts of layers in there as well. Endless coverage. It took probably 2 days just to shoot that one little part of that scene. So it was pretty painstaking stuff actually. Have you watched it recently?
Yeah, we watched it. We've watched it recently to record the podcast about it.
All right. Good.
So
it looks a bit dated, I think, but it was good in its day.
Yeah, we looked at it sort of. One of the guys looked at it from now, and I sort of looked at it from 1999.
Yeah.
So what was it like to work with cast members like Kelsey Grammer and Patrick Stewart?
Oh, very good. Very good. They were all very on board. They were very easy to work for. And of course, Pete Postlethwaite, who was the actor in it, he played Mr. Jones. He's probably he's a very, very fine actor. He was wonderful. Kelsey Grammer was great fun. Patrick Stewart, who else? Ian Holm we had. We had wonderful voice artists. Julia Ormond who did Jessie. No, they were all very easy to work with. In fact, I recorded Kelsey Grammer and Julia Ormond in Los Angeles. I did quite a lot of the sound in LA actually.
Do you think that the fact that the movie is based off a classic novel helped bring bigger sort of talent to the project?
It might do, yeah. Yes, I guess everybody knows the book. Yeah, I would think so. I think the ambition for the project was huge. I mean, it was a very, very ambitious thing to do. And obviously, as I said at the beginning, if we were shooting it now, it would be done in a very, very different way. But I think everybody, all of the actors kind of acknowledged the fact that we were trying to do something a little bit unusual and new for its time.
So what you mentioned twice now that if you were doing it now you would do things differently. What do you mean? What would you do differently if you did it now?
Well, I think it would be, I think I probably wouldn't use animatronics, or if I did, I'd use them in a much, much smaller way. But, I mean, the material that you can get by using, post-production CGI these days is infinitely better. I mean, in those days, that was shot on film, by the way. It wasn't digital, and it was graded on film, optically graded. And it's very difficult to remember way back when. Then, what limitations there were. But now, of course, I think you could do, fantastically realistic creatures, which would be, much easier to sort of put into a shot. But, the compromises we had to make constantly in order to make it work were massive. Huge. So I just think, basically with tracking software, hair software, the particle software to make hairs, there's so much more at your disposal now. And so I think I'd probably use 90% CGI actually throughout the whole thing, probably less real animals as well.
So are you working on anything now that you'd like to talk about?
I'm just about to do a film which I'm shooting in Prague in the Czech Republic about Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and the writing of the opera Don Giovanni. It's a sort of thriller actually. There's a lot of murder and mayhem in it. And it's obviously a period piece with amazing music. Very, very fast moving. I'm going to shoot it it's going to be shot like a thriller. It's very dangerous and very edgy, the whole thing. So yeah, that's what I'm about to do this year, which I'm looking forward to actually.
What's the title of that?
It's called Interlude in Prague.
Shar, do you have anything to plug?
Just follow me on Twitter at YasharPirasta, and if you're looking to move, check out my moving app Boxhop, BOXHOPP, and read Culture Shock daily.
Every day. What about you, John?
My Twitter is John, Lein1. Listen to our Chronicles from the Crypt podcast, which is about Tales from the Crypt. Continue listening to the Kulturecast because those are usually pretty good. And we got written reviews and stuff that are fun.
You can follow me on Twitter at HeelStash, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter at CultureShocked. Next Monday, we're going to be talking about American Psycho, and I spoke with Matt Ross, who played Lewis Carruthers in that film. He also plays Gavin Belson in Silicon Valley, if you watch that show. And then next Thursday, we're going to be talking about the Name of the Rose, and I spoke with Ilya Baskin, who plays Severinus in that film.
Fearless, faithful guardian, proud and strong, protect us from the wrong. You will defend us with your lofty trotter pigs. Our pigs, our pigs. There is no beast that's braver. They will not ever waver. They face the fight for right with might. Glorious, great and triumphant, gallant hero.